Awesome.
Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
Joining us this morning, we have Cocopah Cultural Resources Manager, Justin Brundin.
Hello.
Good to have you back, Justin. And the new museum curator, Christine Bryant, is joining us this morning. Hello.
Hi.
All right.
Well, welcome. I'm excited to have you guys in because there's always some fun things and really important things going on at your museum. So what do we have to talk about today?
Well, we are very excited to have a new curator in the museum right now.
Yeah.
Having a curator is super important for the museum because curators are the people who protect all of our collections, make sure that they're taken care of for future generations. And also curators are important for helping the community experience our collections, experience the story of Cocopah that we would like to tell as a tribe. So yeah, we're really happy to have Christine here.
Very excited to be here.
Christine, tell us about your background.
Well, I am a recent graduate from Lindenwood University in St. Louis, Missouri. I was double majors in history and religion with comparison emphasis and minors in anthropology and public history. So that's my
all?
Exactly.
A few more classes in there.
I know, right? So this is definitely my wheelhouse, and I'm very excited to be here. This is literally my dream job, so I definitely cried when I got the call. But I am so excited to be here.
Well, some people might not understand what a curator does, and they may think you simply take an artifact or an object and put it in a glass case and you're done with it. But there's cataloging, there's research,
Right.
there's so much involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's my big project that I want to do is completely reorganize the archives and get them to where they're more accessible to the tribe and be able to be seen more often by them. So that's definitely my legacy project.
Now, what is the accessibility now for the museum? Is it open to the public in a larger capacity? What stipulations are in place for people who visit?
So right now, if people want to come to the museum, we're open normal hours from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And visitors are required to wear a mask. But you can come in. If you call ahead, you can arrange for a tour of the museum. And it's one of those things we're excited to welcome people back to the museum. It's open and ready for people to experience Cocopah.
Now, explain where it's at, because the people might not be familiar.
Yes, so the Cocopah Museum is located west of Somerton. And if you go to Google and just type in the Cocopah Museum, you'll get directions that take you right there. Our address is 14533 South Veterans Drive, Somerton, Arizona. So 14533 South Veterans Drive.
I think someone said before, if you hit the border, you've gone too far.
You
Yep,
definitely
yep.
got too far.
Yep. If you see the river, you see the border, you're like, okay, let's start heading east again.
Once you start heading that way, you see, is the water tower still out there?
Yeah, you'll see the big water tower that
Yeah.
says Cocopah. And the tribal headquarters is just south of that. So,
Yeah.
And again, most of the maps, they'll take you right to the front. And you can
Most
park
of
out there. If you got one of those weird GPS devices from like the early 2000s, it might send you south to Gadsden.
Well, open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. What are the days again?
Monday through Friday.
Monday through
Perfect.
Friday. And I love that tours are available if you call ahead. That's just kind of more of a personal opportunity to see all the cool, intricate things that the museum offers.
Well, and if you are, the kiddos are, it's summer right now. We're all looking for things to keep them busy. Maybe you watch your kids and the neighbor kids or your nieces and nephews and you have a little bit of a group. Oh, this is a great fun activity for them. Literally, you can call and say, hey, I have a group of this. Can we arrange a tour?
Exactly. You can arrange a tour if you have a group. We've had youth groups, Girl Scouts, we've had church groups all come and ask for, hey, can we do an activity and maybe make some fry bread or maybe paint some rocks or something like that. So all you have to do is just call to the museum and ask them we'll set that up for you. We'll try to make an activity that's good for you. Our phone number is 928-627-1992.
Is there a cost for that?
It depends on the activity. Usually it's just the cost of materials. So it's usually very, very reasonable. And for larger groups, it's usually even easier for us to do.
What's the standard admission if Teresa and I were to walk in today and just check it out?
All that's required for admission is an open mind.
Wow,
It's
nice.
free admission. We do definitely appreciate donations, but the purpose of this museum, it was established by the Cocopah Indian tribe to expose the Cocopah culture to the broader Yuma community, so that way people know who Cocopahs are, since we've been in the Yuma area for thousands of years.
Well, there is definitely a lot to see, and you guys are really good about changing up the exhibits. What can one expect to see if they go out today?
Well, we do have jewelry, we have a traditional dress, we have some traditional life reconstructions, we have pottery, we have a lot of things that are very interesting.
Now, what, to your knowledge, now I understand you're relatively new there, what is the oldest artifact or item in the exhibit at Cocopah Museum?
Good question. I think we have some gourd rattles from the 1900s, like early 1900s.
Wow.
We also do have some pottery that dates back to the 1800s. We have in our collections in the back, we actually recently acquired some photos from the 1880s
Wow.
that had never been before seen of Cocopahs and Cachans. That's something we're working on conserving right now and preparing. And eventually in the future, we hope to have an exhibit that features those photographs. We also just recently had a community member reach out to us and donate some petroglyphs, some rock petroglyphs that their grandfather had removed back in the 1930s when they were doing farming out here.
Wow.
Farmers, didn't know what they had, so they
Yeah.
would just kind of take it, put it in their front yard. And while we can't return it to where it originally was, because we don't know where that was, they brought it to the museum so that way it is preserved for future generations.
And that's what I was going to ask. If Yuma is so awesome because we have so many generations in our community. That's what I was just going to ask. If somebody has something that belongs to the Cocopah tribe, do you take donations of that sort?
Yes, certainly. We had recently a person move into a new home, and when she was going through the storage shed out back, she found this pot, this ancient pot, in a cardboard box that somebody had unfortunately taken from the desert and was trying to reconstruct. And again, we always urge people, if you find something, leave it where it is. Our ancestors left it there for a reason. But if you find something that has been removed in the past, there's no way for us to return that. So yes, we would encourage people to bring it to the museum. And we'll let you know if it's actually Cocopah or not, and if it is, then we will definitely preserve it for future generations.
If someone is out in the desert and comes upon something, we want them to leave it there. Would you like to know the location of it? Maybe have them get coordinates and share with you, because then you can do a little more research on that.
Certainly, that would be wonderful. Take only pictures, leave only footprints. That's like a good thing to follow. And if you do have GPS coordinates or something like that, I would be very, very happy to have that, because we like to protect these things and make sure that they're left where they are. Again, our ancestors left them there for a reason, and every little piece that they left is like their signature. It's their last signature, their last presence on this planet. So we want to make sure to protect that.
All right.
Well, I love that. I think, again, you're preserving your history. And like you said, the Cocopahs have been here for thousands of years. So there is so much history here.
Oh, yeah.
And what a great way to go experience that, because you've done, with the museum, you've done your due diligence with all of these items to make sure that they're handled the proper way, and they can still be out and visible for people of the community to learn about the Cocopah tribe.
And that's why we're excited to have somebody who's professional and really has the deep depth of knowledge and education to preserve it, like Christine. So
Did you seek this position, or did
Yes.
they seek you? I mean,
No.
what made you come to Yuma or
I had a
Somerton?
very extensive job search. I worked about as hard on my job search as I did my capstones, my senior projects.
Uh-huh.
So I got this job, and I was floored because it was something that I only dreamed about, honestly. So
And it didn't matter that it was,
I would have
the
taken
desert.
wherever, but I'm very glad to be here.
I'm like, because it is, like 118 last week. So.
Yes.
Oh, I know. When we heard somebody from the Midwest was coming to Yuma, we're like, okay, we're gonna have to get you a nice big sun hat, and
Exactly.
suntan lotion.
I'm glad to be away from humidity, though.
We hear that a lot.
Yes.
You just wait 2 more weeks.
Oh, I know. My dog is not excited.
But it only lasts a couple of months, if
Yeah,
that,
right.
and
It's not
good.
8
And the
months.
winters are beautiful.
Yes,
Yes.
it's not 8 months of humid weather. We've got a friend in Alaska who watches the show, and he was sharing terrible winter temperatures with us. And I
Well,
said,
this morning it was 47 degrees, I think he said.
yes, that's nice for them though, as it
Yes.
warms up a little bit. 70 is a bit on the warm side for them. And I said, we joke that if you make it through our summers, you've earned the winters. And he said, they're just a flip-flop of that. If you make it through the winters, you've earned the summers there.
Right. Yeah, he was talking about negative, like 30 below or something like that. I'm like, no thanks. We'll be shoveling. We always say you don't have to shovel sunshine, and he will be shoveling a lot more than. Well, I thank you for coming in. Thank you for choosing, Somerton, Yuma. I say Yuma, but Yuma County, the Cocopah tribe. You seem so. It's evident that you are so excited about your job and what you're going to do. We're excited to see what's to come for you.
Thank you so much.
I mean, it's a great opportunity. And again, we always encourage you, go take a little trip, 15 minutes at most, to get to the Cocopah Museum. Again, if you have a group, make an appointment. Get that firsthand tour guide there to explain everything to you. And again, great opportunities for some really awesome projects for your kids too. So
yes, and if you one fantastic resource you can enjoy this from home too before planning your trip to the museum is on YouTube. It's Cocopah Now. It's the channel. They have a YouTube channel. So many great videos about a lot of things. Teresa and I watched them and we're like, I never knew that. That's cool. I didn't know that. So we encourage you to do the same thing.
It's a great way to keep up with the projects that you guys are doing and the people that we've already had on. It's a great way to get updates on.
Well, and it's important for us to remember that Cocopah and Native Americans in general, we're not some ancient thing. We're a living, vibrant people with a living, vibrant culture, and that's a great way to check it out.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
You.
Thank you very much.